Hey Virgo, Five of Shields. This is more well, it's a lack mentality. But to me, what I was just gonna say, it's mourning a loss. And it's letting to me. So it is material things. So it could be loss of money, a loss of a job, things like that. This is something that would have already happened. Um, but it's really more of a state of mind. It's I don't have enough. I don't have enough. I don't have enough. And if you buy into the law of attraction, and even if you don't, it's if you're putting out I don't have enough, I don't have enough, the law of attraction says you're not going to get enough, right? So when you're trying to pay your fucking bills and you don't have enough money, I'm not saying how am I supposed to be like, oh, I have enough money and money is just going to magically appear in your account. However, just be mindful of what you're focusing on and whether it's positive or negative, and see if there's a way to turn it. If it is more putting out negativity, try to see if there's a way to turn it so that you're what you're putting out there is more positive, if at all possible. Sorry. Eight of Swords. This is the card of denial. This is the card of feeling trapped. This could be debt, since that Five of Pentacles, feeling chained to your bills, your finances. But this is something usually we're in denial about. We're not seeing some part of the situation. We're not willing to go there. So this is can be lots of times when you've sometime in your brain you resigned yourself to something, and it was really in some ways a it relieved yourself from responsibility. It's like the blame got put externally onto someone else, and now it's time to take your power back and to claim it and say, no, I'm responsible for my finances. I am responsible for how I feel. I am responsible for how I show up every day to life. I am responsible for what I put into my mouth. I am responsible for whether I get up and exercise. I am responsible for whether how hard I work at work. I am responsible for anything that's you that you were directly involved in. We're responsible for how we acted. I don't know, something about that. I just saw 444. So something about that is relating to this Eight of Swords. Let me get some more. Six of Shields, give and take. Some maybe need to ask for help, but if you can help to help others, that's a way to put that positivity out into the universe by giving to others. That making sure though that you are open to receiving. We've been having in Vermont a couple of, I think the National Guard has been setting up sites and giving out food, and they are I could start crying. I think the last one they had 1,000 cars or something go to, and I mean that's just 1,000 people needed food. I mean it's just fucking heartbreaking. So if you can give somehow, even if it's your time or lending an ear, please do. But if you are in need, please take advantage of things. Maybe someone's being stubborn about that. That would be really hard. That'd be really hard. A new beginning, new inspiration, starting your own business, an entrepreneur. This is a new relationship, one that's very passionate and physical. This is starting a new physical routine. So this is taking action on something you've previously been inactive about, because this is a new action you're taking. So I think taking new action to get your finances in order, taking new action to lay everything on the table, lay the cards on the table, and really, what have you been in denial about? I do this with my weight all the time. I think, oh, I'm fine, and I don't step on the scale. I step on the scale, and I'm completely out of control because I just haven't wanted to deal with it. Whoa, I think I was talking to myself there. That is really, I would use that wisely. I would look into new moon rituals and things like that. And it's time to really set an intention to put new things into gear. A lot of you, it may be negative thinking that's holding you back, focusing on negative things, focusing on lack, negative things. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have the job I want. I don't love my living situation. And then we've been stuck inside. So everything's been amplified, I feel like. So if you're not happy with your partner and you guys are locked down together, boy, that's going to be magnified, right? If you're not happy with whatever, you're just that's going to come way more into focus. Or don't have anyone and everyone else seems to have someone and I'm locked down all alone. That's really going to be highlighted right now, or had been highlighted. So how do we move from that? I don't have someone in my life. I don't have someone in my life. I don't have someone in my life. That's what's getting broadcasted out into the airwaves, right? So into the universe. So how do we switch that? And I would literally Google positive affirmations, because there's sort of a skill to it that I don't possess yet, to how to craft your affirmation. And for your new moon, really, like, this is my new mantra. It is, I'm putting this out into the world. So whenever you hear yourself and your brain start to go through that negative highlights reel, greatest hits. Do you remember, was it ABC Sports? The something in the agony of defeat. And they had that for years. They had that poor ski jumper that like just totally crashed and wiped out. Like they have this horrific ski crash. I don't know, it just made me think of that. That's pretty old. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube though. So that we're gonna get rid of the greatest hits reel. We're gonna get rid of the negative things and start putting all the positive times, and so break that out. I think it's Liz Gilbert says she has, she keeps a happiness jar. I can't remember what it is. But anytime something nice happens or someone says something nice, if she thinks about it, she'll write it down and put it in a jar. And then when she feels she isn't feeling great, she just pulls some out and reads them, just to brighten her mood and focus that this is temporary, and to try to turn that around. But I just see you guys, so being of service to others may be a good way to get out of your funk as well. But I see you really fired up, really passionate on this whole new beginning. It's like you have a focus now, you have a plan, you have a goal, you figured something out. Again, maybe it was something you really wanted to do. You've always known you wanted to. I've always wanted to be a fashion photographer. I am thinking of someone in particular, Cancer. But, I can't do that. It doesn't pay money, but whatever. All this shit we tell ourselves so we can't achieve our goals. And this is like, no, I know what I want to do. I want to do this, at least at this point in time, and that's okay if it changes. And you're figuring out a way to pursue that and to make that happen. So you're super inspired and energized moving forward. Something's clicked into place, but it's going to take you doing a little bit of housekeeping in your brain about what you're telling yourself, and to be kinder to yourself, to be more generous to yourself. Yeah. Take care.